Alright, today we're doing a skin showcase for Herrerasaurus. Every single Herrerasaurus skin combination is going to be in this video. This took a little bit of time to set up. Looks like we're leading with a strong first skin here. This one's looking pretty cool. He's very loud when he's coming out. Sonoran Desert Rana to start us out with. First skin, base pattern, or base color and first pattern. This one's solid. I like it. I like the... I think I probably said this before with Herrerasaurus in some of the videos, but I like the way the counter shading is here. It's pretty cool. Herrerasaurus is, of course, one of my favorite dinosaurs, just in general. Very interesting creature. Really cool jaw structure with like a hinge in the lower jaw. The feet are interesting with these extra toes, with one extra toe. Got that cool transitional, you know, anatomy of a Jurassic dinosaur. Sonoran Desert Calcarana on this one. Got darker striping than the Rana pattern. The Rana's got this more red. You've got a darker black patterning. Still pretty cool. I really like the base color here, the Sonoran Desert. It's pretty good looking. Number 3. So we're getting more of a yellower pattern on this one. You are lethal baits. Yeah, don't like the yellow as much. Makes it kind of look like it's got a skin condition. Number 4. Basically the same thing, but now blue. See here. Yeah, that one doesn't really work for me either. That's Pulkarana. Like the first few much more than these last two. I guess the first two much more than these last two. What do we got here? Now we're getting one that's very reminiscent of Jurassic Park the game from Telltale. With the yellow and red. I wonder if that's the closest you can get. These little highlights here are kind of interesting too, or these little different colored bits that only show up in a few spots on the body. Do we have those on the other patterns? It's not obvious that we do. That one's kind of special in a weird way. Interesting. This one is the only one that seems to have these additional highlights, at least noticeably so. Alright, well, let's get the rest of the first base color out. I like the look of this one too. Pretty similar to one of the other ones we had. It does have a little bit of, well, it's got the red with the black outlining as opposed to the other one was pretty much solid, right? This one, yeah, pretty much solid, whereas that one is a black outlining on a more of a red interior on some of these splotches. So that's an interesting difference. Still looks pretty cool. Solid, solid. And our final Sonoran Desert skin. This is the blank pattern one. That's not a bad skin with no patterning. I like the way the counter shading here and the upper body color kind of blend together in this blotchy kind of jagged pattern. That's interesting. More noticeable on the base skin than on the yeah, because when you have all these other stripes going on, it distracts from that patterning. On the base, it stands out pretty well. All right, well, cool. Yeah, honestly, I think if you're looking for a Jurassic Park the game one, your options are kind of the Sonoran Desert Calcarana one here, which kind of has the black and the red that you're looking for the Jurassic Park the game Herrera. Or possibly you might want, was it 4? Yeah. No, 6. Or you might want 6, because 6 6 lacks the darker stripes that you'd associate with the Herrera, but it does have the mix of red and yellow that you kind of get with the Jurassic Park the game Herrerasaurus. I think overall I'd go with the darker one. I think, yeah, the Sonoran Calcarana one is a little bit better for your Jurassic Park the game Herrera. But you could mix it too to just have like males and females for Jurassic Park the game style Herreras. And do the Sonoran Desert Paparana one for the other one. That wouldn't be bad as a combination. Anyway, we can move on to our second skin here. Okay, mixing it up. Which one is this? This is Death Valley Rana pattern. Yeah, I don't think I like this one. The Rana patterning kind of overwhelms the base color. It looks a little awkward and weird. We'll see how well Death Valley comes out with some other patterns here. See, I think I like this one a bit more. I think this is a bit better. It almost looks kind of like the pattern ends up being the base color in a way, if that makes any sense. The pattern, in this case, the pattern overwhelms the base color, but it overwhelms it in a way that's a little bit more matches a little bit better in my opinion. I like this one. I think that one's solid. First impression, not as jazzed with this one. This is Death Valley Lethal Baits. It looks decent from a distance. I like it less when we're zoomed in here and we really see this like kind of off-green patterning. Looks a little weird on the brown. Number 4. Already at 7 minutes. This video's gonna take a while. Didn't anticipate that. This is gonna end up being like a half-hour video or something, because that's a little much maybe, huh? Oh, interesting. This pattern kind of looks different. Death Valley Pulkarana. I guess it's the same. It's just it looks rather different in effect. I think it's because of the subtlety of this and the combination of the green and the blue. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure that I like it, but it is interesting. It looks like he rolled in paint or something, kind of. That one's strange. A lot of colors going on there. Oh, this one's got a lot going on as well. So this is probably the one that, yeah, with the highlights that we saw before. Papurana with these little splotches. That's a lot of, like, colorization going on there. Kind of looks like rust. Like a rusty Herrerasaurus. I think I like it overall. I think this one would look a little bit better without the random green highlights. Just because the rust and browns, like various shades of brown and orange mixing together is pretty good looking, I think. Yeah, with the announcement of the dino previews from the Camp Cretaceous patch, this sort of video might be pretty redundant, but I started setting it up before that was announced, so I figured I'd go ahead and do it anyway. Yeah, I like this a lot. It's like a leopard pattern. That's pretty cool. That's a solid Herrerasaur. Death Valley Pilophylax for this one. That would be like, if you wanted to do like a park that was kind of based on like modern animals, or dinosaurs that like taking the spot of a modern animal, this could work really well for like a kind of a leopard. That one's, I think, the best Death Valley one we've seen, in my opinion. That one's pretty cool. I like it. Just out of curiosity, how you guys doing? No forest. Oh no, poor you. We skipped ahead. Whoops. You. Are we down to the unpatterned blank one here? Looks like it. Yep. Yeah. So I I like this one a lot less than the other blank because this base colorization just not as interesting. Death Valley blank, pretty bland. All right, next up, base skin number 3. That's another one that looks kind of like a skin disease. Doesn't exactly work for me. You are Great Sandy Desert Rana. Yeah, you look like a zombie or something, dude. Like your skin's peeling off. It's a little bit weird. Does not do it for me. That one's a bit better. That's a solid look. Don't know what to describe it as, but I like it. Great Sandy Desert Calcarana. It's kind of like dried mud almost, right? You get like the harder overlayer and the damper underlayer between the mud cracks. That's solid. I like it. Not bad. Not bad. Man, you know what would be quite complicated? Would be doing a tier list for this. That would be a nightmare. I'm not doing that. That would not be good. You are Great Sandy Lethal Baits. You look rather similar as the last one, except lighter colored. The Calcarana is like the dark version of this. That could be an interesting like male-female pairing, kinda. With the darker and lighter skin tones. Not bad. I like the last one a little bit better. That one's okay. The blue is subtle enough to work here. Great Sandy Desert Pulkarana. Yeah. It doesn't really do much for me, but it's not bad. It's not actively offending me in any way. Ah, interesting. Great Sandy Papurana. Honestly, some of these catch me off guard because the names are really similar. That's another one that looks a lot like rust, like copper. You got these little bits of copper. You got the burnt orange rust color. That's an interesting one. I wonder. It'd be interesting to compare some of the different base colors with the same pattern. Yeah, this is a pretty good pattern in general, I think, just because it's got that extra little bits to it. And we got you. Okay. Another one that reminds me of a large cat in terms of colorization. Great Sandy Pelophylax. Yeah, this one's not too bad. Again, a pretty subtle combination, but not too terrible. Looks rather different than the last one at a glance. Does remind me of the yellower one we had earlier, and this should be the blank pattern. Yep. That is, yep, that's a blank pattern, all right. Great Sandy blank. Okay, that's not much to, yeah, not too much to say about that one. It is just a Herrerasaurus. Again, a blank pattern that doesn't really stand out in any way. Out of the blanks, definitely prefer the first one so far. Ah, that's a very dark Herrera. I like the face on this one a lot, I think. The red striping on the muzzle looks really good here. I like it. I don't like the body as much for some reason, though. It's not bad by any means. Not making my heart sing, that's all. Let's get another Champlain. Oh, yeah, that was Champlain Valley Rana. Might as well say them out loud in case anybody is just listening, looking for their favorite Herrera to be mentioned or something. Oh, I should have checked which set of skins was the challenge mode ones and called those out especially. Hey, this isn't your show, man. Get out of here. Champlain Calcarana. Very subtle body pattern. I actually kind of like that. Good for a little bit of variation within a herd with some pretty similar skins. Next up. Nope. We're gonna go with a nope on that one. That one does not work for me. That is Champlain Lethal Baits. Nope. Again, it looks like it's just kind of got a skin condition. That's nah. Don't like it. Not for me. So far, I like the ones that resemble the Jurassic Park the game Herrera the most. Yeah, same problem as the last one, honestly. Pattern's a little off on this one. Champlain Valley Pulkarana. It's just too overwhelming. And the pattern being lighter than the base skin here looks really strange. Yeah, not too much else to say about that one. Here's our next Herrerasaurus. Interesting pattern. Very interesting. This is going to be that one with the weird green highlights again, which is Champlain Valley Papurana. That one is very interesting. Once again, one that's kind of reminding me a little bit of Rust, but kind of in a different way with the darker base color kind of shown in here. It's a little weird. Not my favorite of these ones, I don't think. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm liking it more than the other Champlain Valley ones we've had so far, I think. So that's solid. Next up, what have we got? It's like opening dinosaur loot boxes. I mean, I've seen some of these skins before, but I don't remember which ones I've seen in challenge mode, so. We've got all kinds of interesting things to go on here. I like the look of this one. This one's probably my new favorite for this particular base skin. This is cool. It gets me as like a snake vibe, kind of. Do you feel that too? I don't know why. Maybe it's something with... I don't know why this makes me feel like a snake. This one's great. Champlain Valley Pelophylax. That's pretty cool. That's my new favorite Champlain Valley for sure. That one's got a great vibe to it. And then this should be the blank pattern one. I've already had to make edits to this video because I've messed up and skipped stuff, so... It's always good when the dinosaur that comes out is the one I expect. Champlain blank. Yep, that doesn't do much more for me than any of the other blank patterns. So, yeah, there it is. Alright. Now, hopefully I've got the right hatchery for the Salar Del Huasco Herrerasaurs, who were messed up in the original lineup here. That looks like a green skin to me. That should be Salar. I'm going to call this one the Christmas Herrerasaurus, Salar Del Huasco Rana. So we get the green Salar Del Huasco base skin with the Rana patterning. I don't like it, but it is very festive. So, you know, it's got a purpose. It's got a niche. You can build a Christmas park made of only green and red dinosaurs. Oh man, am I going to do that for Christmas? I guess I kind of have to now if I'm still doing challenge mode runs in December. Ooh, that's a really interesting looking one. Salar Del Huasco Calcarana. I really like the way the green and the black blend together here. That's an interesting look. I think I actually don't like the base color of the underside as much on this one. I think the green and black mix is really good, but the yellow is a little too standout now. On the bottom here, the counter shading on the base of the dinosaur. But that's still a good skin altogether. That's great. I like it. Did I look at the skin pattern? Now I'm wondering if I'm looking at the skin pattern, the things correctly. Calcarana on that one. I've been trying to make sure I always go to that tab and say it, but I might have missed some. I don't know. Never done one of these before. Oh, that's... That feels to me like another one for the skin disease column, probably. Yeah. Looks like it's got a some sort of, I don't know what pigment you would have for a green skin color, but like a deficiency in that pigment. Oh, well, social animation, huh? You gonna do a little facial biting? Alright. And that was lethal baits. Next up. Okay, pretty similar, except now we got more of a blue instead of that other lighter color. I don't remember what the last one was. It more of a yellow or more of a green on this last one? 35. More of a yellow. Kind of a yellow-green. Yeah, now we get the blue, but still getting that kind of skin diseased vibe going on here. This is Pulkarana with a Salar Del Huasco base. Yeah, not really doing too much for me, man. Sorry. Followed closely by... Yep, here we're getting our rusty burnt dino again. Not too sure how much I feel about this base color with this pattern. Yeah, that looks a little weird to me. I don't think I dig that one very much. Another Papurana pattern here, of course. Salar Del Huasco, Papurana. Followed by... Yeah, this is a pretty good... These last two patterns here are pretty good, generally speaking. Like, they work better with some skins than others, obviously. But yeah, this is solid. This is another solid one. Pilophylax patterning here. That's not bad. I liked the other Pilophylax earlier, I think, a bit more. With the darker green. That was the Champlain Valley, I think. I might be thinking of. But this is not bad. That's a solid little pattern. And then we got the blank Salar Del Huasco. Huasco? I don't know how you pronounce anything, man. I ain't a geographer. I ain't an animal scientist. I don't know if the actual base patterns... The base patterns seem to all be geographical locations, because there's like Amazon rainforest and stuff. As far as base patterns go, I mean, sure. It's fine. It's like the Herrera from the first game, kind of, with the green and yellow. Although that one had more of a pattern to it than just the flat green on the top and the yellow counter shading. I mean, it's not bad. It's better than kind of the brown ones, at least. Where are we now? Now we get back into the normal lineup, I think. And we released you, and this should be Limpopo? Sure hope that's Limpopo. It is! Limpopo Rana! Okay, I couldn't tell because it was still very green. So this is like kind of just a lighter, less saturated green than the last one. Again, with the red, it kind of looks like it's just been rolling in blood or something, which, you know, maybe works for Herrera, for any carnivore, really. Overall, I didn't like that pattern. The Rana Limpopo didn't do it for me. Looks a little too weird and artificial. This one's not bad. This is solid. This is Limpopo Calcarana. That looks pretty decent. Yeah. Another example of kind of the colors meshing pretty well, I think. It's kind of something you could see like hiding in the woods, right? You got the leafy green patterning here, and then the kind of the shade mixing in, giving it a little bit of that big cat vibe, except, you know, more reptilian, because it's green is not a color you associate with felines, generally speaking. At least not in terms of their base colorization. Now, we might actually be getting some of the weirder colors, the weirder patterns that I've always attributed with skin disease that might actually kind of work out here now with this more subtle base color. This one doesn't look that bad. As far as lethal baits goes, this is a solid lethal baits base skin pattern combo, I think. It's not the best. It's not making me super excited for a Lethal Baits pattern dino, but it's okay. High praise for Lethal Baits so far, I think. Yeah, basically the same deal here. We're into a base pattern that actually kind of meshes, or a base color that meshes decently with the pattern we've given it. Yeah, the subtle blue actually works here decently, because you're not just overwhelmed by it on a weird color. Yeah, I think I like a lot of the Herrerasaurus patterns where the colors blend well and subtly. Or ones that look like Jurassic Park the game, because it's just a solid Herrera design. Color-wise, at least. Yep, another one of the rust. Yeah, this pattern being so vibrant, I think works a lot better with a more vibrant base skin. So this subtler green doesn't really do it for me here. Looks a little off in this case. Yeah, and this was Papurana, Limpopo River, Papurana. And next up, where are we? We are here. That one's not bad. I mean, black kind of always looks good on any base color, really. Yeah, I think I like this one less than some of the other Pilophylaxes. But it's fine. I mean, I got no strong objection to it. Maybe a little bit of like a aged green banana vibe there or something, huh? Some decaying fruit. And then we got this should be the blink pattern. Yep. Not much to always say about these, but yeah, Limpopo blank, it's just another blank greenish dino. I guess maybe this is pretty true. The other ones at the back being a little bit darker at least elevates this beyond just a flat green skin, but it's not hugely exciting. Oops. Back here, please. Next skin after Limpopo is... Drum roll because I don't remember. Oh, okay. It's that. Yes, of course. How could I forget that? That's a little bit of a weird one again. Qilian Mountains Rana. So we've got this, like, really beige base color with this red. Does not work. Unless you want all your Herreras to look like they've just come straight from the set of Carrie. If that's what you're looking for, then maybe it does work. Better? That one's better. Yep, not too much to say about that one. Qilian Mountains Calcarana. It's just your kind of your standard, you know, darker color on lighter color pattern. Qilian Mountains I don't expect is going to get me terribly excited. It's a pretty bland base color, I think, but it can be kind of important to have some bland bases in there because sometimes it'll make the pattern pop more or it'll add some diversity if you're doing some random skins. You know, if every dinosaur was a AAA, then the variation between the different skin combinations wouldn't stand out as much. It wouldn't be as neat when you rolled a really cool skin combo doing random skins. This is Qilian Lethal Baits, another Lethal Baits skin that doesn't really do anything for me. It's not as bad as a lot of the other ones, again, because the base color is pretty low, pretty unsaturated, dim. It's not a bright color, so it allows the pattern to add a little bit more pop to it, but not exciting. Not terribly exciting. And you are... Yeah, this is the blue pattern. Qilian Mountains Pool Karana. That's probably a little bit better than the last one, I think. But not, again, not too hugely exciting. But I think this might be my favorite Qilian Mountains one so far, which is low praise, but it's not bad. As far as the blue patterning goes, this works pretty well to bring a little bit of highlight to this ashy gray skin. That's decent. And now we got the rusty one, right? Yep. That is maybe interesting. I want to look at it in sunlight. Let me see you in the sun. You know what? That's not bad. It's a little weird, but it works better than I expected it to, actually. Huh. Again, Paparana, Qilian Mountains. Not too terrible. Paparana's a good pattern, generally speaking. I'm surprised to see it work on a lighter colored one like that. And this is the one I believe I've attributed to being leopard-like a few times. I think the spots on the legs do it in part. Yeah, that one's alright too. Not crazy, but not bad. Let's check out the blank. Oh, I should, this is Pilophylax. Pilophylax, Qilian Mountains. And the blank pattern one, assuming I have not made a mistake. Which we can never be sure of. Yep, there's a blank one. I mean, I guess the upside for this pattern is you can use it kind of as a stand-in for an albino if you want one. If you did an unpatterned base of any other color and threw like one of these into the pack, it would give you that kind of vibe going, which wouldn't be too awful. I mean, at least it kind of serves a niche then, right? Qilian Mountains blank is that one. Next, we have onto a new pattern, or a new base color. I keep mixing those up in my dialogue. I don't know if we've had one yet that I've really liked the red patterning on too much. Maybe the first skin it was okay. This is Yukon River base with Rana patterning. It's a little weird because it gets this kind of bronzy bit in between on the body and the thighs here. And I'm not sure I like that. I would think the red splotching on the black would look good, but it's got this kind of other colorization going on here. I'm curious now. Sonoran Desert Rana, how do we feel about you, actually? Yeah, I think this is still the... Or no, that's... Wait. Yeah, okay, so that is... Yeah, we did start out with a decent Rana pattern. It's only in these later skins that Rana's become kind of underwhelming. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that was Yukon Rana, right? I think. Shit, were we on Yukon? I don't remember. What do we got here? We got Yukon Pilophylax. Again, the kind of this coffee brown is throwing me off a little bit here. Kind of weird. Yeah, just like a weird color in between the brighter stripes on both of these. Well, wait, is that the stripes that are kind of the coffee brown part? It should be over the ribs. Yeah, so this is the striping, is the darker bit. Are all these Yukon ones kind of brownish? Because I always attributed to Yukon as a darker skin color. Yeah, because we got like this blacker bits here. Curious. Where are we? Down here? Wait, is this where I am? Oh no. Oh no. 3, 4. What have I done? I think I skipped one. We'll figure it out. As long as we're still on Yukon, it's fine, right? We can do the Yukon slightly out of order. Yeah, so you are Yukon Calcarana. So Calcarana, Pilophylax, Rana, and it should be Rana, Calcarana, Lithobate. So we skipped ahead to the Pilophylax. Whoops. Okay, so Yukon Pilophylax was out of order. Yukon Calcarana gets us back on order. This one's not bad. The patterning's pretty subtle here, which works for it. Still kind of got that coffee brown pattern going on that I did not attribute to Yukon originally. Interesting. Yep, I like it. I think the counter shading is again a little too light. We've got this interesting mix of kind of browns and blacks for the top of the dino, and then the counter shading at the bottom is this really bright beige, which doesn't really work, I don't think, in that case. Yeah, this one's looking a little pigment deficient again, kinda. Yukon lethal baits, again, lethal baits is the one that is often not great, so there's another mediocre lethal baits in my opinion. Then this is the blue one, right? Yeah. Probably better than the lethal baits here, but not terribly exciting either. Yukon River Pulkarana in this case. Yeah. Next up. Ooh. Yeah, this is the... I forget which pattern this is called again. I've said it so many times you'd think I'd remember what I said, but I don't. Papurana. Yukon Papurana. Not bad. The darker base color kind of works, especially because it's like a browner base color with the orange. The face looks a little weird here to me. I think this would actually look pretty interesting if the face was just like unpatterned. Because then you'd have this interesting body color with this kind of a bird vibe where the face was just like uncolorized. If that makes some sense. Oh, and then yeah, so then this would have been followed properly by the Yukon River Pelophylax, which is this one. Which, if you've skipped ahead in the video for some reason, I covered this earlier. I did it out of order slightly. But yes, decent one there. Now we need the blank, which should be you. Blank Dino Go. Blank Yukon River. This, I guess, will tell us if the base pattern really is that like deep coffee brown. And it is. Yeah, he looks like some sort of coffee drink. Except the foam is on the bottom instead of on the top. Wow. I mean, as far as like browns that you attribute to dinosaurs go, this looks a little bit more different than if that seems weird to say because brown is brown kind of, but it's not bad for a blank. I think the base color or the belly color here, the counter shading works well. The beige plus the brown is a good look. Too bad the patterns didn't really set that one on fire much more. There could have been some interesting patterning done with that one. Next base color is this might be a red one that works. What to see? You are Svalbard Rana. You know, it reminds me of apples. For some reason, I'm getting a really strong apple vibe from this Herrera. That said, I don't think I like it that much overall. The Svalbard, a little too saturated. The red's a little too bright. It kind of clashes. It's not really doing it for me. Next Svalbard is Kalkorana. Interesting. So we've got this kind of almost purplish. It looks really purple with the really deep green base color. It's interesting. It's a unique color combo. I don't think it really works, though, unfortunately. The purple is just a little too jarring there, I think, in my opinion. A little too unnatural. Are we on lethal baits now? It looks like a lethal baits to me. Svalbard lethal baits. Suffers a little bit from the same problem most of the other lethal baits have, but in this case, the base color is so dark compared to the patterning that it doesn't really trigger that like sense of having some sort of skin disease as much. I think it actually looks more like a real pattern here. Still not hugely exciting though, but One of the better lethal baits, I think. Again, faint praise, but whatever. This is Svalbard Pulkarana. Again, same problem as the last one, really. This one looks much more like a skin condition this time. Because we're going from green to blue, it's got that desaturation vibe that kind of triggers your sense of, like, disease detection or whatever. And now we have Svalbard Papurana. This is, I'm going to say, not a Papurana pattern that works for me. This one's a little weird. The orange is just too bright compared to the base color. It looks like it rolled in paint. It really looks like he just, like, fell off a ladder while he was painting his roof. Not great. So far, Svalbard's been a bit of a letdown. We started really strong, though, with Sonoran Desert. Sonoran Desert was really good. This one's solid. This is good. The yellow highlighting around the patterning is really good here. This is a great Svalbard pattern, actually. Svalbard Pilophylax. Solid high-tier pattern, actually. Nice and subtle. It looks like your usual dinosaur when you're seeing it from kind of mid-range, and then you zoom in and you get a lot of interesting details that pop in here. I like the neck. I like the neck from this back angle. Pretty cool. Solid. And then we are onto the blank Svalbard. And oh my god, this video is going to be closer to an hour than not. That's a lot. I'm going to say one of the better base color patterns. That's a nice... The way the green kind of gets darker as it goes to the top here is a nice look, actually. Not bad. For an unpatterned dino, not bad. Especially because I've been pretty harsh on Svalbard so far. Next, we have... Oh, now we're getting into the yellow ones. These are going to be interesting. The yellow pattern, or the yellow base color... Like, when you're going through the hatchery stuff and the genetics and looking at that, it looks really bright compared to everything else. So this one should be interesting. I think the red works a little better with the yellow than we've seen on some other ones. It does kind of have, like, a fruit vibe to it, though, in a way. I like the way he creeps up in that social animation. That's pretty good. That one's okay. Oh, and that one... Oh, they're blocking the hatchery, too, right now. This was Amazon Rainforest Rana. So Amazon Rainforest is the yellow one. And now we got Amazon Rainforest Calcorana. Now we have a decaying banana. But this is Amazon Rainforest, I think, is going to be a bit of a winner. This is decent. I mean, black and yellow is always a good look. Can I get you... Yeah, give me a ground level look here a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, that's solid. That's a solid enough pattern. Next Amazon pattern is... Yeah, even the lighter patterns work pretty good with the yellow base. We also just don't get that many yellow dinos in the franchise, which makes it stand out even more. This is Lethal Baits. I mean, Lethal Baits is always going to be a little bit underwhelming. But as far as Lethal Baits patterns go, this is not a bad one. Not awful. And then we have the blue patterning, the Lethal Baits adjacent mediocre pattern. Generally speaking, at least for the Herrera, it doesn't really work that well. Yeah, this one's... I mean, it's subtle enough that it's alright. But it doesn't work that well. This is Pulkarana Amazon Rainforest. The blue just kind of clashes a little bit here. It's just a little too pastel-y to work with, like, the deep yellow orange that we get from Amazon. The Rainforest, not the company. Amazon's never given us Herrerasaurus, to their shame. Ooh, this will be an interesting one to get a look at in the light. So this is the Amazon Rainforest Papurana. That's not bad. This is like the first time we've had a Papurana pattern that's actually kind of subtle. Just because the base color is close enough. That's solid. That's a solid pattern. Another good example of one that looks kind of samey from a distance, and the more you zoom in, the more pop you get in terms of like interesting patterning going on here. Probably one that would look better without the green-blue splotches again in this case, but it's still pretty good. Still nothing to complain about. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. We've got, what, 2 left, I think, to go through after the Amazon? So now we kind of get the leopard pattern in reverse. Because now we got a base that's yellow. I guess we had like an oranger base before. I mean, that's pretty good. Amazon Rainforest Pelophylax, that's pretty fine. Actually, what was the other one that looked rather cat-like? Was it Death Valley? I think it was Death Valley I was talking about. Because that's still yellow-ish. Yeah, then we get through this stretch of like dark ones and green ones that are a little underwhelming. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it definitely was that. We don't need to pan through all of these again. That's insane. Ah, now we have the perfectly healthy banana Herrera. No age spots. That is actually probably one of the blinder skins because of how much the undershade or the counter shading blends with the base pattern. It actually ends up being pretty samey. But I don't think you'd want to use Amazon Rainforest for the base pattern anyway, or the base color anyway. You really want to use that with some interesting patterns in combination. Ooh. Blue. I don't know if I've ever seen a Herrera with this base color before. This is new to me entirely, I think. I was aware of the yellow Amazon ones, but this, like, aquamarine or whatever you want to call this, that's quite something. Again, looks like it came from the set of Carry. The Mangrove Forest Rana here is what this one is. This one doesn't work for me, but I'm really excited to see more of these Mangrove Herreras. These are cool. Or hopefully cool. The base pattern, the base color is pretty interesting. It's nice that they did sneak some brighter patterns in here. Especially early on in like the game when you don't have some of these skin patterns unlocked. Some of the dinosaurs can seem pretty muted in terms of their colorizations. This one's not bad. This is, wrong tab, Mangrove Forest Calcarana. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Still more interested in seeing what else Mangrove Forest has to offer us. Ah, maybe this is where lethal baits will shine. Let's see. I'm gonna say no. Lethal baits is not shining here. Again, not bad, but not really doing it for me. Next one might be interesting because we got kind of blue on blue. Oh, but that blue is so like desaturated. I guess it's more of a purple on the pattern anyway than a blue. I mean, that's not bad. Mangrove Forest Pulcarana, that's alright. I was expecting a little bit more from Mangrove Forest, I'm not gonna lie. So far, I'm not getting that much. I mean, basically every Mangrove Forest skin's been alright, but there's just been no standouts. Well, now we get Mangrove Forest with that rusty base skin. Okay, that's something. That's a lot. This is Mangrove Papurana. Very much a copper, like a oxidizing copper vibe. That's pretty cool, just for that alone. The aquamarine deep green of oxidized copper with kind of the unoxidized copper patterning. Solid. I think this is probably my favorite so far out of Mangrove Forest. That's a solid little one. You could do a park of entirely metal-themed dinosaurs. Wow. You could have a copper Herrerasaurus and have... See, look, it even wants to come back and get in our way. That's how excited it is to be here. I don't know what else you would have in addition to that Herrera as far as coppery things go, or metal things go, but I'm sure somebody can come up with an idea. This one's not bad either. Pelophylax Mangrove Forest. That's decent. I mean, it's just, you know, an interesting base color with some black on top, which is never going to be bad. Yeah, probably between Pelophylax and Papurana for the best ones here. Of course, the base without a pattern might be decent, I guess. Let's see how that looks. Maybe this was the key all along. This one was just the unpatterned dino. Oh, interesting. Wait. Well, I guess we don't need to pause, but... This, like... striping on the back. You see that? The subtle 3 stripes here? Do we have that on the other dinos, I wonder? Number 8. It's certainly not as noticeable. Maybe I'm just focusing way too much on this, some of the patterning here. Maybe it's even a trick of the light. No, there's definitely some striping there on the side. Interesting. I mean, it's as far as base colors with no pattern go, that one's not bad. I am focusing a little bit too much on the details there, maybe. Also get some weird highlights on the eye sometimes. Mostly when it released, where it looked like it kind of had a little bit of a... Yeah, now I don't really see it. It's trick of the light, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of... He's just sidestepping. Don't do that. It looks weird. Yeah, there. Where you see where it looks like it's got a lightened area under the eye. But it really doesn't when you actually zoom in. Just a lighting thing. Alright, well, let's move on. Last skin. Last set of Herreras. You are green and red. Oh, I noticed something weird on the belly there. Okay, this is Gambia River Basin. More of a brighter green. Yeah, there's like a green splotch. You see that? He's got green belly splotches. That's weird. It looks like he's got fungus. What's your deal, bro? Wash your stomach. What the heck? Oops, didn't want the hatchery there. We're still looking at this guy. This is the Gambia River Basin, like I said, with Rana patterning. Kind of an apple vibe again. I'm actually curious. Do the... Yeah, I guess they all have those splotches going across the chest, and we just didn't catch that before. Interesting. Weird. A little weird, but... Sure. Sure, why not? Next one is Gambia River Basin with... Oh, I gotta unpause the game, of course, if I want anything to come out here. Gee whiz. How foolish of me. Dinosaur. Let me see dinosaur. Okay, there it is. That one's not bad. We're looking at Gambia Calcarana. That's solid. The solid black with the brighter green bottom here underneath is not too shabby. It's not going to beat out the Sonoran Desert patterns for me, I don't think, but it's alright. So far, I think I feel confident declaring our Sonoran Desert patterns at the start to be the winners. The Sonoran Desert looks really good for the Herrera. And not just for the Jurassic Park the Game callbacks. It just looks good in general. Lethal baits? Yeah. This is not a bad lethal baits, actually. This one kind of works. I guess... Yeah, I don't know. Just in lighter colors. Even though the green is like way more saturated than the over pattern, they're both lightly colored, so it kind of works. Yeah, this is the worst pattern in the game, I think, for the Herrera. I'm going to declare that now. Pulkarana basically doesn't work on any of the skins, in my opinion. And yeah, that's true for Gambia Pulkarana here too. It just doesn't really do it for me. Interesting vibe. Papurana Gambia. Not bad. Not bad. It's kind of hard to make it stand out from the other Papuranas we've had. The head looks good on this one. The way the orange covers the eye socket, that's pretty good. And the little bits of extra green in here don't stand out too much versus the base color green, so they aren't as distracting as they are in some of the other skins. It's solid. That's a decent skin. Gambia is a skin, feels a little underwhelming for one of these like late tier ones compared to the last two, Amazon and the blue one, I forget what it was called. Having like a third or fourth green base color is a little eh. I'd like to have seen maybe another red mixed in here. Maybe a deeper red or kind of like a maroon red or something maybe. I don't know. Just for a little bit variety. Right now, a lot of them are green, which is a little bit eh. Gambia Pilophylax. That one's okay too. Pilophylax is a good pattern in general, so it's alright here. Green and black's not ever going to really look bad, so. And then finally, we got Gambia Blank. Again, another green Herrera without a pattern. Not too much to say about it. Now I can't help but notice that they have like spots on their chests. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, that's a fine enough color. I mean, I don't know what you would say about it that you'd say any different from the other green pattern Herreras. It's just a weird shadow under the arm there. Now, I thought it might have been a hole in the model or something with the way the arm was positioned, but it's just the shadows standing out a lot there. Well, that's good. At least the model's not glitched out. That was something that always annoyed me with the Carnotaurus in Jurassic World Evolution 1, where you had the model that actually glitched. And the arm, the elbow would the texture would separate from the model. And you'd see like an elbow flap hanging off sometimes at certain zoom levels. And then you'd zoom in more and it would actually correct itself. It was just a texture glitch, like a visualization glitch. That's a lot of Herrerasaurs though. How many do we end up with here at the end? 88 minus 3 that were wrong or something, so 85. That sounds about right for skins, right? 85? I don't know. Well, if you watch this whole video, thanks, I guess. Hopefully you got some interesting skin patterns out of it. Saw some dinos to use in your own parks or something. And maybe we'll do one of these for Camp Cretaceous. We'll see if anybody watches this thing. I honestly don't know if this is even content, honestly. It's a lot more than I thought it would be to get through this many dinosaurs. So this might just be too long. If you do think this is interesting and you're enjoyed seeing this sort of skin showcase, please leave a comment so that I know that this is worth anything as far as a video goes. Yeah, I'll probably do one of these for Camp Cretaceous for the Monolophosaurus at least, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe these aren't worth the effort they take. Anyway, until my next video, I guess. Bye.